Welcome back, YouTube. Today we are looking at the Springfield Hellcat. This is a full review. We've already done the first impressions, kind of unboxing, that kind of thing. If you want to see that, we'll link it up here. You can go back and check that out. It's a great video. Today we are doing the actual review of the Springfield Hellcat. It's going to be a little bit longer, a little bit more in depth. Okay, so before we do that though, we're going to send you over to Norm. He's got a great message for you. I don't know what he has prepared today. It's going to be good though.
Okay, as you guys already know, the boss has told me not to just ask you guys to subscribe, so I'm not going to do that today. What I'm going to do is tell you to subscribe.
Let's just get to the video, skip that. Thanks, Norm. Okay, the grip. So I kind of will go all around the gun. First of all, let's talk about the grip. I mentioned that I liked the grip initially, and I think that holds true. I really liked the grip. I thought it was aggressive enough. I wouldn't want it any more aggressive when I was carrying this over the past few weeks. It did rub against my skin a little bit, but it didn't irritate it really all that much at all. It was just fine. But as far as shooting goes, the grip, man, the grip feels good. Let's see, let's get the magazine in there. So the grip feels really good. It helps control, as many people have mentioned in many reviews, they've got kind of these dual pyramids going on, where there are these higher pyramids with these cut-off edges, and then there are lower pyramids that actually have points. And so I don't know that I can tell that, but it feels good. And so I really don't have any complaints about the grip. It feels like, you know, it fits your hand really well, especially for a small gun like this. So that's great. Let's move to the sights. As we've mentioned before, I'll give you another look at those sights. They're good, honestly. These are some of my favorite sights of most of the guns that we reviewed. As I mentioned, I do want to mention again, we did compare this gun to like 7 other guns in a big video. You can also, we'll link it up here as well, where we do kind of a superlatives type video where we rank them, hey, best trigger, best grip, best sights, all that kind of thing. It's awesome. You should definitely check it out. We'll link it up here. Well worth a look. It's definitely a more in-depth 30-minute type video, and so we were really excited to do that one. However, for this one, if we're looking at the sights, these sights were really good, very easy to pick up, very easy to help me shoot better, right? Because the whole point is the gun functioning well to help me shoot better, and I feel like it did. I just compared to some of the others, especially that U-notch there, I do like that. I do like the white, and then the front dot there. I really enjoyed that. I think it was, you know, could there be better sights? Of course, but I don't really have any complaints in that arena. So let's check out the trigger. So the Springfield Hellcat has had some controversy as far as the trigger is concerned. At first, I saw a couple of videos talking about it, and I thought it was just ridiculous because I picked it up and had no issues whatsoever. We did do a video on it actually. We'll link that up here as well. But I didn't notice it. I shot, like I said, 300 rounds through this baby, and I didn't notice a single thing, not even remotely any issues whatsoever. My wife, however, picked it up. We were at the range one day. She was helping me review it. And we were at the range, and she's like, why is it not firing? Did I do something wrong? And so then I picked it up, didn't do it, change anything, fired it right down range, perfectly fine. And we figured out that it was the exact problem that so many people have been talking about, how apparently if you engage the side without pulling back the blade, then it can cause, let's see if I can do it right here, if it will. Mine does it, but then started to fix itself. Yeah, see. So if you engage the side first on accident, and then engage here, it doesn't fire. It won't go, right? And mainly that's because, right, the back of the frame, if this is the back of the frame and this is the blade that the safety catches on so that the gun won't fire, if you engage that first, it just won't slide. Whereas other guns, if you do that, it will go anyway, right? Even if you engage the trigger first and that second, it will go. And mine's starting to do that. I don't know if that's a problem that works itself out after just a little while, but it is what it is. So I never noticed that. My wife did, so that's something to note. That's something to look at. There's lots of guys that have done these types of videos that explain this and how to fix it and how to do whatever you need to do. I never noticed the issue, but that's something to keep in mind. As far as the trigger goes on everything else, I honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed the trigger. I felt like, let's show you here, audible and tactile reset. It's a crisp break. It's really quite enjoyable. One of the best triggers that I've used polymer frame-wise. very comparable to a lot of the better ones out there. Let's talk about reliability. As far as reliability goes, like I said before, I think just a second ago, about 300 rounds. I don't have an exact count for you, but I will roll in some of me shooting this. And absolutely no malfunctions. And that's with steel cased ammo, brass cased ammo of many different varieties, some hollow points, lots of different stuff went through this, and there was not a single hiccup, not a single problem. Specifically, gosh, I can't even remember what the ammo was, but we had some seriously underpowered ammo, like horribly underpowered. And it did cause a couple of the other guns that we looked at to fail. This one didn't fail even one time, so hey, we'll take it. And so that gets an A+ as far as reliability. And that obviously, we all know that is the single most important thing. It needs to go bang when we pull the trigger. And if it doesn't, you got a problem. And so this has been 100% reliable. Everything else is second. Okay, so obviously it's primarily a concealed carry gun. And so as far as concealability goes, how concealable is it? Well, I mean, it's about the same size as the Glock 43, a little bit thicker, but in all the other dimensions, exactly the same, and a Smith & Wesson Shield, which is my first carry gun I ever owned. So maybe I should mention that one. Man, about the same. It's just a phenomenally small gun for how many rounds you get, right? 11 rounds plus 1 in the chamber for a flat base plate, and I think they have a 13 plus 1 as well that I looked at in the first impressions video. And man, that's just so concealable with so many rounds. That's what makes it so phenomenal. That and the P365 head and shoulders above some of the other guns, because you get so many rounds, which, right, you need it to go bang, and you need enough bang would be another important thing. And this is definitely one of those. And so if you're talking about in the concealability from a concealability standpoint, man, this is highly concealable for what you're getting. And like I said, it wasn't too abrasive against my skin, concealed just fine and inside the waistband holster on my waist. Some of you, I guess if you're big enough, you could probably pocket this one. I probably couldn't, but really concealable, fantastic gun. Now let's talk about the most important thing, the aesthetics, right? The aesthetics. I think it's actually a very pretty gun. Not quite as pretty as some of the others. I think it's on par with most of the other ones that are out there, but I just think it's a really nice looking gun, even though it's not quite the same as some of the others. And so it's a small factor, but it is a factor, and so it's something to talk about. I think that all the serrations, maybe a little bit not quite abrasive enough here, but you can do press checks and you can pull on them, and they do help, but maybe they could be a little bit more aggressive in my opinion. Other than that, I mean, the grip, as I've mentioned before, everything looks great. I think it's balanced. I think it looks really good. It does have a rail here underneath, which you can mount all kinds of lights and other things, lasers or whatever else you want here as well. A lot of people have noted this here at the front, which is, it kind of has a gap there. I don't know if you can see that. And obviously that's done on purpose so that if you had it up against something, that it wouldn't pull your gun out of battery unless they came up over the top, right? But it allows you to push on that and still fire the gun if you needed to, which is kind of cool. But okay, so if we're going to pull the gun all together, right? If we're not any of the individual parts, but pull the whole gun together and say overall impressions, man, I am very impressed with this gun, more than most of the others that I've looked at. Mainly because it's just the round count, the reliability, how it feels, how it shoots, everything. It doesn't feel too snappy. It feels like you can control it pretty well. It's just a phenomenal gun if you're looking for a concealed carry gun that is enough rounds that you don't have to feel like you're going out without anything, but not so big like a Glock 19 or something bigger. I don't tend to carry those bigger guns, and so this one is very appealing to me. So if you're looking for a concealed carry gun that is just great on pretty much all fronts, this would be one to look into. The Springfield Hellcat is a phenomenal gun. Like I said, though, there are other guns that we looked at. Whether this is the one that I would choose personally or not, I don't know. We do talk about it in the other video. I'll link it up here again. Go check it out. See all the other ones we looked at, comparing them side by side, which one we like for this, which one we like for that. And you can get my full opinions on those. We hope that we've earned your subscription today. If not, leave some feedback in the comments below about what you think about this gun, what your overall impressions and opinions of it are. Also, just engage with gun channels. We say that every single video, and we're going to continue to say it. Engaging with gun channels is the best way to show YouTube that this content is valued and that it's valuable to YouTube, right? They're in business for money. So if we can show them this is one of the most lucrative categories of business on YouTube, then that's all the better. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.